apply energy efficient technology, police accountability, civil rights, elimination. See, these are things we could be talking about as we go into the 2012 election here in Portland, because a lot of people want to get involved, and there's some things that maybe could be suggested.
Well,
to
not
anyone.
related to health. I don't get. I mean, if you want to change this to politics, I don't. I'm a Democratic.
Well, I do apologize if it seems zoned, and as I said, that just says rezone. From my perspective, I don't see it as separate. I see it all connected to health, and most importantly, psychological health, because there's a lot of mental disease going out there from a feeling of not feeling loved in their own community and not feeling safe because of what their leaders are doing. So I'm simply approaching this: how can we feel healthy in our city? Because this is the feedback I'm getting from some of the people listening, and the beat on the street, if you will.
Yeah. So as far as you have a desire to be healthy, and you have a desire to be naturally healthy and love nature, or be healthy so you can love nature. For example, going out and camping. You can camp in your backyard. I did this in Portland in the 70s. We camped out in our backyard. And we were doing massage in our backyard. We were doing sunbathing. So it isn't something you have to go to a store to do. You can massage yourself. And let's get into this.
I'll let you do that, yeah.
This is called Hoku, this point right here. And this, you could call it the thumb crotch, where it's the thumb and this finger. The meridian, there's 6 meridians going to the hands and 6 meridians going to the feet. So this point right here is an acupuncture point they do, but I do this every day. It's called elimination for the whole body. This helps to eliminate lung and colon. So you have lung, which is instant cleaning and breathing, and then you have the colon, which is long and slow, because it takes about 2 days for the food to poop out. So this point right here. Then I adjust this joint right here, which relates, and see how loose this is. But I've been doing this for years. Now, you've heard of the thing of don't pop your joints? That is a lie.
Thank you.
Well, let's just say it's a fear, but it's imposed on people. And why? Is because it makes their parents feel nervous that the kid is popping their joints. But the parents don't know that there's a whole industry called chiropractic. Every day, thousands of people are paying for somebody to crack their joints.
Now, how about this one right here? We're stretching this way.
All the stretching is good if you can breathe. If there's any stress, that you breathe when you're feeling the stress. And then, like the head, tipping your head like this or like that, like this.
How about popping when the neck pops? It naturally pops when I go this way, and that's always baffled people. My back pops so loudly.
Well, so what?
But it feels good.
Well,
it doesn't feel like a bad thing.
That's their fears.
Okay, so it's releasing.
It's releasing
energy,
stress that was being held in those joints. There's a little air gassy bubble thing in every joint, and that's why they pop.
And my feet will pop 20 times in a night at the ankle.
Yeah.
I've never. It did again.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So I'm just saying, there's thousands or millions of kids that pop their joints every day, and their parents don't like it, or they don't care. And if the parents don't like it, they say, "Oh no, don't do that." So what do the kids do? They do pirate. They go and they hide and they pop. Because
gotcha.
it's a natural thing. Or like like somebody if in school, here's the prison thing. Sitting in desk, you go, "Oh, you're stretching like this, pop a little joint," and the teacher freaks out. Don't do that. And like, when I was in school, I don't think I ever saw anybody stretch in a classroom. Everybody's a robot. Well, what does that do to your health? When you're growing up, your organs, your bones are growing in life, and they're forming for your whole life. And those stretching is absolutely essential. I mean, this is really good. This is a book now, just came out. I got it at Powell's, called Baby Yoga or Born Yogi, and it has pictures, beautiful little pictures of these babies doing yoga naturally. Now, when we mentioned about rebirthing just a moment ago, breathing.
I got to take a look at this book because
rebirthing. Breathing is one of the most important things.
And I was going to ask you
in yoga.
I do have a favor. The breathing exercise you shared with me about pulling down the energy and bringing that down. That one really struck a chord with me, in light of the fact that we're getting a lot more solar activity. And if we're to be balanced, I think we want to be cognitive of these earth changes that are happening, energetic changes, because some people that are imbalanced, as we've seen last week, sometimes riots pop up in relation to sunspots, and I think we're seeing more evidence of that length. So this is why I think some of your breathing exercises are key to kind of helping harness that energy in a more mindful manner.
Well, harness, I think, is a macho term. So
harness. Okay.
I'm gonna say balancing. See, I was raised to be a macho jock.
How about channeling?
That's
also
Chinese. We do channel. Energy is constantly channeling.
Okay.
It's not. I'm going to do channeling. No, I'm sorry.
Surfing, the surfboard of. Okay.
I'm constantly channeling energy in the body all the time. There's a new book, which is very adult, not baby yoga, called Earthing,
mm-hmm.
and it means sitting or laying or on the ground. And it goes through a whole book scientifically explaining how it's healthy for us to
mm-hmm.
be on the ground. So the title is Earthing, the greatest discovery of human health. And they go through and they prove that there's all these ways that we absorb energy and we balance energy by sitting on the ground. I just was outside laying on the ground. And I actually camp on the ground. I sleep on the ground usually, or in a hammock. So, I mean, I'm extreme. And why? Because I was a complete jock, dork, idiot up to Saturn return,
mm-hmm.
which is 27. So all of this seems irrelevant from politics. It seems irrelevant because you can do these things without paying any attention to politics, or but in permaculture we want to connect with our neighbors.
All right.
And in Portland and in Eugene, I don't know other cities, maybe Santa Cruz, I'm not sure. There's thousands of herbs growing right next to the sidewalk, actually spilling over onto the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's
rosemary.
Well, yeah, rosemary, and this is tea tree oil.
Which I need to start using. I've been keeping that for a while, the tea tree oil.
Tea tree oil is actually, and the clay,
mm-hmm.
are the ultimate natural Band-Aids.
Okay.
Anything that can happen to you, or you're outside of your body, you can put this on and it will help heal it.
Internally, olive leaf extract is a must-have, to make sure I'm mentioning that every now and then, because some people have never heard of it.
Well, there's hundreds of herbs.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually, in the basic herbology, there's 200 herbs. And most of them that are coming in have come from the Northeast
mm-hmm.
United States, from the native Indians, and from China. So we're actually benefiting by the global culture
mm-hmm.
of the native Indians in the Northeast United States, which
mm-hmm.
are from Europe, and Chinese. Those are where the herbs are coming from. But they're dandelions. Dandelions are sitting right out in your yard, in your garden. And the dandelion leaves are very alkaline, bitter, very good for acidosis, toxemia, dandelion tea or munch on a leaf. And dandelion roots can heal cancer.
Now, I want to hear your opinion on romance and love as far as healing. In a world where there's a lot of resentment towards the opposite sex that I experience every day, that I see people going through, how do you relate to that? Some people view it as going beyond the body and no longer having attachments to sensations and desire. Some people view it differently. How do you view health in relationships and things you'd like to share?
Being a triple Libra,
mm-hmm.
Libra is a sign of relationships and balancing harmony in relationships, peace, love, freedom, cooperation, making agreements, building trust together. So if we have trouble in relationships, it usually means that our parents had trouble relationships with each other. Or one of them abused us growing up, so that we have sounds kind of Freudian, an old damaged relationship with our mother or father. And mostly it's boys. Well, it actually goes both ways. Boys with mom and dad, and girls with mom and dad. So when I started becoming aware, meditating in my 20s, I couldn't remember anything before the age of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. Well, maybe one birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I started meditating and doing a lot of healing and massage and yoga, I could actually remember these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could release it. But that is scary for most people, because they're kind of shy and composed, and they'll
mm-hmm.
complain or hurt. We hurt holding those emotions inside. It causes stress in the guts. And so in the medical field, what do they call it? The placebo effect, which means they don't actually believe that the mind and emotions affect your physical health. So we need to clear up or work on our emotions about other people. Like somebody looks in your eyes, oh, don't look at me, or they look away, because the eyes are the most intense physical thing, and voice, that you can give someone.
Think about what it's like when people cross me on the street. They don't know what's coming at them.
Well, confusion is normal in the cities because they're square and totally unnatural. That's why when I go out, I look for the trees. I love the trees. I just love them.
Especially Laurelhurst.
They're bigger there.
Yeah.
But there's thousands
of trees. So many features.
What?
The Laurelhurst
in the trees.
Yeah, I'm not saying just
there. You mean the bark of the tree?
Well, here's my theory. The more humans they're relating to those trees, the more expressive some of the human or goddess-like features seem to be. I've taken just amazing pictures randomly of just lips and eyes coming out of the tree, and also some pan-looking characters as well.
Well, you can say the same thing about soil, about rocks and lava. They look like creatures, but in a way, it could be our unconscious projecting those symbols there.
That's true.
So, and that's pretty Freudian. But back to Freud. Freud started giving his patients cocaine in the 1890s, so they would talk. Then he could charge them money for doing talk therapy, and they would get a little bit excited and feel better. So that began the psychiatric industry. Now, they say 30% of the kids in schools are on drugs.
So if what you're saying is correct, we're talking about breaking the cycle of abuse and healing, and looking at that in relationships too, the stuff that we've grown up with our parents, and what I've seen, and there's no moral judgment here on homosexuality, but what I've seen also in some cases is people switching what they're attracted to based on abuse that may have happened in an earlier relationship that changed their physiology.
Well, I would say it imprinted their psychology and their physiology, and they may go reverse. But here's the thing about the feminine and the masculine inside our bodies.
Let's be balanced here.
And our psyches. So if your mother was abusing, then that would change your attitude, or make a negative imprint on your attitude toward women.
Okay, check. Got that one.
So, back to school. And then if you have an attitude, like my dad was very passive, my mother was very aggressive.
And if your dad was insane, that would change your relationship with men. Check, got that one. So people, if they have this when they're young, have to evolve out of it. They're supposed to become full.
There's no have to. I really resist all commands.
They don't have to.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
And this is a Libra thing, is I ask questions and then everybody...
How about if I word it this way? They have to evolve out of it if they're supposed to become as powerful as they could be? That's a requirement?
Well, it sounds like California Human Potential Movement jive.
Okay, darn it. Hey, Bill's drawing my attention to the slideshow, and there was a few more. And I know there's some people that are interested in this conversation living in the Port of Portland, so please call us tonight, folks, 288-4442. All right, here we go.
This is 6 games that we do in power yoga or play yoga together to build up trust. The 4 on top are, well, actually there's 3 on top are with a partner, and the 2 on the right and the bottom, well, actually there's 4 with a partner and 2 by yourself.
Okay.
And those are energy games that we do that get our energy flowing and also build trust between people. Like, put up your hand just for a moment. See, that can help us connect and maybe build trust, but we're sitting down.
Can I show you another version of that?
What?
Can you draw your arm out like the other hand, please, unless you have an injury? Bend it slightly like this, relax, and just move back and forth like this. It's like there's a balance that seems to come from that.
Yeah, that's a Tai Chi style dance, and we do it standing up and making circles and all that.
Yeah.
So that builds trust. So there's a lot of trust building games about the relationships thing to help heal the family trauma at home.